Mr. Truck here at the Denver Auto Show, and we're here checking out the CNG booth. We'll hear a presentation here in a little bit. We want to see what's going on. I'm here with Charlie Riedel, and tell me all about what is ANGA. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, so ANGA.
Pretty cool. It's Mr. Truck.
So ANGA is America's Natural Gas Alliance. So we are the trade association that represents the independent exploration and production companies. So the companies out producing natural gas. We're here to talk about some of the downstream uses for natural gas, more specifically, obviously at the car show, talking about cars running on natural gas.
Right, that's great. I had the Ford F-150 a week ago, did 2 videos on that, and it's going to save some money. I'm always concerned about whether you'd spend $10,000 for a CNG conversion or spend $8,000 for a diesel, and that'd be that tall hurdle. But I'm sure it would pay for itself at a third. It's 33% cheaper in Brighton, where I'm from, for the CNG. The fuel mileage, actually, when I tested it, was 20.3, 20.4. I call that a tie. The power was off by a couple seconds in quarter-mile time, or the 60-second time. So you lose a little bit of power, and that's because that BTU thing.
Right.
Diesel's the big one. But you got goodness, the octane rating's 130. You think that thing would be a race car, but and I had it on my diesel as an add-on, and it was great there. But now it's either gas, and I suppose that adding to diesel would be an EPA problem, or do you know anything about that?
So, right, there's some EPA challenges there that exist, and it's also sort of the idea of getting the performance tuned correctly to really to hit that on the fumigation side of it, to really make that perform exactly the way. It's a little bit easier when you use it as an either-or fuel with gasoline.
Right, that makes sense.
You've got similar characteristics in combustion there. Versus diesel combustion. So the way that it works is it just makes a little bit more sense as a gasoline alternative.
Okay, because I know Cummins has one that actually runs them both, and I think they use the diesel to lubricate the engine.
Exactly. So it starts up and helps lubricate the inside of the motor, but then from there on out, it's running predominantly natural gas. So it's when you're actually driving the vehicle, it's running natural gas.
Yeah, and I can certainly see that. It's big in the ports in California. All that makes a lot of sense, and it's so much cheaper in Oklahoma, and even in Utah. Colorado was a little bit higher price, but I enjoyed using it. I used it for like 5 years, 50,000 miles on my truck, but this is what I always wanted, was one of these.
Right.
Tell me about this puppy.
So the Fill is the home refueling appliance that's currently on the market. What it is designed to do is hook up to a traditional gas line that you might already have running into your home and provide a time fill type of opportunity. So it's going to fill slowly. If you plug it in overnight, hook it up to your CNG port, it's going to fill overnight, give you sort of a nice fill right from your home. We see when there is the opportunity to use the fill at home, you're looking roughly a little bit less than $1 a gallon for natural gas when you're filling out of your home. So you talk a little bit about the disparity in price here in Colorado at a public access station, but if you can put a fill in your home, in your garage, you've got the opportunity to really take advantage of the low cost of natural gas.
Well, that's great. Well, because what comes in your house, I guess, is just natural gas, and you have to pump it up to compress it.
Right. So that's basically what this serves as, is your compressor. It's not sort of the fast, big 400 horsepower type compressor that you might see at a public access station. This does it. It's not shoving the molecules into the tank nearly as quickly as you would at a fast fill station. So you're maybe getting, a couple gallons an hour into your vehicle if filling with a home refueling appliance.
Okay, what's one of these fills cost?
Roughly, when you get done with an installation, anywhere from $5,500 to $6,500.
$6,500.
So you've got a number of big home appliance manufacturers looking at ways to bring a home refueling appliance to the market, which is really exciting. So GE and Whirlpool, a couple others are actually actively working on developing technology for home refueling appliances.
Yeah, well, I remember when in California, if you bought a Honda, whatever that one was, you got one of these, and that was so cool. That would have lasted for a year or two, and then that went away. So
there are creative ways to finance it, but right now I think what we're hearing from the manufacturers who are working on bringing a home refueling appliance out, they're targeting anywhere from that $1,000 to $2,000 price point for a home refueling appliance.
That would be good. That would be good. I always thought it was a safe fuel because it evaporates, it goes up, the propane goes down, and I had used propane on the farm as a kid, and I hated it, but Oh, well, that's another story. That sounds cool. Now, is there any way other than going to liquid natural gas that you can get these tanks smaller or underneath the bed? They take up so much bed space.
Yep, you're right. So there are a couple of different designs that are out there and being actively worked on. I know BAF Technologies, which recently merged with Westport, is working on some under chassis or along the chassis mount technologies.
Yeah.
I drive a Chevy Tahoe that has 9 gallons equivalents where the spare tire would go, so I don't have any sort of impact in my cargo area. So
yeah.
there are some ways to improve that. We're seeing more and more in the bigger cabs, the bigger trucks, the Class 8 trucks behind the cab.
Right, I've seen them stacked
mounts,
up behind
right,
them.
and really has been a great way to get the right kind of fuel on board to go the necessary distances that these heavier duty trucks want to go. I think we'll continue to see ARPA-E, which is the big government grant agency for advanced technology, is working and has provided some grants to some universities, as well as I think GE was one of the other companies that was awarded some dollars for revising sort of the cylindrical shape of natural gas and trying to come up with creative ways to store natural gas on vehicles.
They're heavy duty tanks and about bulletproof, but that's GM in 2011 came out with one on heavy duty under the bed. I never got a chance to drive one, but I don't know if they just ran out of space or.
So I think you'll continue to see those types of modifications as it's being asked for. Really what we're seeing our member companies who are converting their field trucks to natural gas are able to continue to do what they need to do with the vehicles. If you're the guy that hauls around a bunch of equipment in the bed of your truck, there are some challenges there that might exist with being able to fit all of your equipment in the bed of a truck. But for the exploration and production industry, the companies that are out there, in the field doing the drilling, the application works great for us. We're a high mileage fleet. We drive a lot of miles on a yearly basis, so we're able to recoup the cost of adding natural gas to the vehicles very quickly and see that kind of payback in a very timely manner, and it really doesn't have an impact on their operations and how they run those vehicles.
Yeah, and that's probably a big part of getting rid of that hurdle is if you can show to people if it's a 3-year payoff or how many miles it is. Those kind of breakdowns is what we need to see.
Absolutely.
Because that way people will make I know businesses will do it, fleets will do it, especially courier services. And if you have a long bed truck, an 8-footer, you can put that on, have a gooseneck, fifth wheel, all those.
Absolutely
that's what I did in my last truck.
And I think there are some great tools out there that talk and give anybody the opportunity to look at the ROI and the payback time period on that. The Department of Energy's website, the Alternative Fuels Data Center, which talks about all the planned stations for natural gas, all alternative fuels really, has a really nice tool on their website that anybody can download and use to plug in their miles driven, cost of their alternative fuel, and it'll provide what is the reasonable, and allowing everyone to then determine what is a reasonable payback period. If I keep my truck for 10 years and it takes me 4 to pay it back, that seems like a pretty reasonable payback period. There are some nice tools out there that allow that to.
What's the name of that website
it's
again?
The Alternative Fuels Data Center, and it's
.com?
It's .gov. It's run by the Department of Energy's website.
Okay.
So if you search Alternative Fuels Data Center in a regular web search, it'll pull back in.
Well, that's good. That's nice to know where they're at, because when I did this 5 years ago, I had to get a map and figure out where they were.
Right.
And I did. Usually my route I could find it, but going back east was the hardest one. Like Iowa had none, Nebraska had none. And I even went to the Army base down South Colorado, and then I almost got shot over going to their fill-up station. It was on the Clean Energy brochure, but that was interesting. But that'd be a big thing. Then I use CNGprices.com, kind of like MapQuest, and I could map out my routes.
We're starting to see some great tools for smartphones as well. So for your iPhone and an app on your iPhone or Android device that you can pull up and it'll show all the active stations, so you can plan a trip when you're out driving, and prices and reviews on if it's a 3600 psi station and what kind of fills people have been getting. So allowing dynamic interaction with as you pull up to those stations.
Yeah, and that's the problem I had, is trying to find a 3600 fill. I could at airports and capitals, but the rest of the planet had a lot of 3000, and I needed all my gallons I could.
Absolutely.
So I get some range out. But like this new truck, the one I had, that Ford F-150, had a 36-gallon gas tank plus 23.5, and I could go forever.
650 miles, no problem.
Yeah, on just one of them. But you get over 1,000 on a combination. I was tickled to death. But yeah, I got to do math. I'd like to go back to CNG. I was happy when I used it.
Great.
Well, thanks, Charlie.
Absolutely, thank you.
It's like from California. Whoa. So what's this? 150,000?
Not you.
Huh?
They start about 70.
Oh, it's a cheap one. Well, you can decide between this and a new Corvette.
Yeah, they cost less than that Cadillac ELR.
Well, there you go. What's it got, a trunk in the front and the back?
Yes, sir.
Wow, Tesla. $70,000. And it goes, What do you think, Dave? You should buy a couple of these. Wow. And there's that breeding pole, or the, what do they call it? Plug-in. Wow, look at the giant trunk. Holy cow, and the seat fold down. This is like my old Pinto. Wow, that is cool. You hardly see that anymore where they fold down. That's awesome. Wait a minute, I gotta turn the light on. So it lights up. Wow. And that's a Tesla.
Below as well.
Wow. So where in the heck's the batteries? All underneath by the frame or the unibody or floor panel? Wow. That is just too cool. So how many miles does this go on a charge?
About 300.
Wow, that's really good. Charger at 300 miles. Holy cow. Okay, son, we got to get one of these. Look at that big moonroof. Tesla. What's this? What's model? Is this an R or what's this one? Model S. Tesla Model S. Trunk in the front, trunk in the back. 300 miles to a plug-in. Wow.
Hello, I am David Sundling with USHorsepower.com. This is the brand new 2015 Mustang at the Denver Auto Show 2014.
Yes, sirree. That's a 2015 Mustang. You want to go in there, son? Whoa. Does that fit you, Dave? You turn on the light. So is this the car you want? Editor for USHorsepower.com. You're looking good. That can be. And you get that wonderful buzzer. Ah! 2015 Mustang. Whoa. Awesome.
Oh my gosh, wow.
Wow, a 2015 Ford Mustang. Well, that's the look.
And it says, yes, we use Jaguar and Porsche turbos in the same settings. I don't think that's ever happened before. I think that's a big statement. Yes, we use Jaguar and Porsche turbos in the same settings. So it's really fun to talk about this car. This car is 550 horsepower, 502 foot-pounds of torque. The active exhaust allows her to purr like a kitten, or to whir like a cat, absolutely meant to be driven. 0 to 60 according to Jaguar is 4 seconds. The cats in England are a little bit conservative. Car and Driver says 3.5. They tested it 3 times in 3.5, so the car's pretty quick. 0 to 100, Car and Driver tested it at 8.3 seconds. That's pretty quick. If you want to put that in perspective, the all-wheel drive XF, which is not that big a dog, is about 8 seconds to 60. So we're going 40 miles an hour faster in this car at the same time. 186 miles an hour, that is mechanically limited. It has a governor because of the tires. It also might have another reason, and I don't know this for a fact, but I'm assuming that we might have an RS model in our future at some point. We've done it with our other cars, and I think the car's got potential. The car has been tested at over 210 miles an hour aerodynamically, so the car has a lot of potential as we move forward with it. There's an all-new electronic active differential, and for the first time ever, Jaguar has torque vectoring. I can tell you on a track that the car is totally different than the Roadster. When you point it through a corner, it goes where you want it to go. There is no push in this car. It is dynamically different than the Roadster. So it's a lot of fun. We also have the most torsionally rigid car you've ever had from Jaguar that you're looking at here, and it is torsionally rigid. Monocoque construction, and it is very, very strong. And he originally in 2008 set up a number of dealer meetings. And he set up the dealer meetings because he wanted to come to the United States and see what the United States dealers were thinking. Roadster market in the United States, that car came first.
Porsches. Holy cow. What are we into? Aston Martins? Whoa. Boy, look at the hoods on that. Wow. Yeah, look at those lights. Whoa. See, Aston Martin got sold too. That was all part of the British Leyland Group, which was Jaguar, Land Rover, Aston Martin. They were all part of the old British Leyland company out of England. That's the one who Ford bought. This is Maserati. I think this is still Italian. We got that cool little ornament. Some kind of a crown. Okay. Look at these puppies. The Denver Auto Show. All these gorgeous toys. What is this? A Lamborghini. Whoa, probably. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, look at that. Orange brakes. Holy cow. And then, what's this red one? That's a Lotus. And then we got a Bentley, whatever this is, convertible. Wow. Yeah, this has got to be the car I get next. And if I was a midget, I could buy this Lotus, but I do not fit in a Lotus. Yep, there's the horse. We found the horse. I've got to get one of these for my truck. Ferrari of Denver. And you're out of camera space, aren't you? Whoa, Maserati. Right across from that's Cadillac and Ford Fusion. Oh, it's XL Energy. Is this this is a Maserati? Yeah. They've already come out with the convertible. Now these things here.
Yeah, those are high end.
Yeah, I had one of these for a while we reviewed. Now they also can buy one of these with dual axles on the back.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like 180,000. Look at that. Whoa. Holy cow, she's losing control. She's diving.
She got left.
Well, you got some big long lines for this tonight. I want to see her do a 360. Come on, wipe some guys out. Looky, 2014 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray. Nissan Supercar GTR. There we go. And this Charger, you got that 6.4 Hemi. Great big Hemi V8. It's one of the police checking out. This is the one you want? This one? Yeah, really. The new Cherokee. It is a hot looking SUV. Viper's back, the Viper's back. Oh man, this is just too cool. 392 Hemi, that's what they're calling this one. Wow. Next to the Tesla.